78 Sports TV here. All right, let's talk a little Keith Thurman and Floyd Mayweather Jr. All right. Listen, I said earlier in the interview with Keith Thurman that I thought that Keith Thurman was ready for the elite level. I thought that he could beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. Okay, and Marcos Maidana. And apparently that started a shitstorm in my comment section. Okay, and also I'm gonna do my response to those comments in this video rather than replying to each person individually. But I know Tito Garcia and a few other people were asking questions like, well, wait a minute, you said that, you know, Floyd was the best at 147. So how do you say Keith Thurman would beat him? Let me explain that. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has earned the right to be ranked as the best welterweight. He's earned that right. Okay? You can't rank somebody who's unproven over a guy who is proven. In my opinion, you can't do that. So for that reason, Floyd Mayweather, with all his records and accomplishments at 147, is the best welterweight on paper. That doesn't mean he could beat every single person at welterweight. Okay? Sergio Martinez, right now, is the lineal middleweight champion of the world. He is the best middleweight in the world right now. That doesn't mean he could beat Triple G. That doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean he could beat Kid Chocolate. But right now, on paper, he's the best. Okay? It's easy to prove that on paper. So let me get to Keith Thurman and Floyd Mayweather. I know that a lot of you guys, I know how y'all think, man. It's one extreme or the other. Either you have to be a Mayweather hater or you have to be a Mayweather fanboy. That's the only two things you will accept. You won't accept anything in the middle. You can't just like Mayweather and you know, you can't. You guys want one extreme or the other. Okay? But listen, I think there are a few guys out there at 154 and 147 that can beat Floyd Mayweather. I really believe that. Okay? I think there's some good fights for Floyd. And I don't think we're ever going to see those fights. Really. I don't think. And listen, this is not just me talking. I talk to fighters. I talk to handlers of fighters. And they have told me the same shit. Okay? They have told me what their thoughts are and what the gym talk is about Mayweather and his opponent selection. So when you guys think that people are just picking on Floyd, understand that this is not coming from just some fan like myself on YouTube. This is coming from people who are in that environment, in that world. Okay? I believe that at welterweight, Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter, Manny Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley, all would give Floyd Mayweather problems. All of them. All right? I'm not just looking at Floyd being undefeated and I'm just in this fantasy world where, he's never been defeated, so nobody will give him a fight. No. Listen, Keith Thurman with his style I think he would knock Floyd out. I really do. I think he would stop Floyd Mayweather. And it would surprise a lot of people. It would shock a lot of people. Floyd Mayweather is known as a runner for some reason, but he's not a runner. Okay? At welterweight, Floyd Mayweather stands flat-footed. Okay? He stands flat-footed and he stands in the pocket and he bangs with people. If he does that with Keith Thurman, it's over. I don't care what you think, it's over. I'm standing on that. And if the fight is ever made, we can put money on it. Keith Thurman will be an underdog in that fight, and I'm going to get rich that night. You understand me? I'm going to be rich that night. Keith Thurman swings every punch with bad intentions. He's fast, powerful, explosive. Floyd Mayweather stands in the pocket with this kid like he did with Guerrero and Canelo and Cotto. It's over. It's over against Keith Thurman. And I know you say, oh, well, Keith Thurman ain't fought nobody. Who is he for? Well, listen, that's not his fault. It's you guys, the fans, you guys allow people to be ducked. You allow him to be ducked. Okay? The guys don't want to give him a shot. They're hoping that he loses to somebody else so they can justify not fighting him. That's why people are trying to push him on Shawn Porter. See, you're scared to death because Shawn Porter, as another guy, I believe, will give Floyd some serious problems. Now, if we make these two dudes fight each other, then that frees up the space for Floyd's opponent selection. You see, because once you lose, then you can forget about fighting Floyd. That's the big thing now. People love to say, "Well, Floyd would have fought this guy, but he lost." See, and then for the other people who say that Keith Thurman is not ready. He's not ready yet. He's not ready. Who is he beating? He doesn't deserve a Mayweather shot. Listen, guys, I'm an old boxing fan, and I like to look at rankings, okay? I know that the rankings are manipulated sometimes, and it's a bunch of bullshit in the rankings, but call me old-fashioned. I think that the guy who works his way to be the #1 contender deserves a shot. That's what I believe. I'm not worried about you have to have a big name. The big name guy has to fight the other big name guy. The big event. I'm not worried about that all the time. Sometimes I want to see the guy who worked his way up get his shot. The way Marvin Hagler used to do, the way Bernard Hopkins is still doing. Sometimes mandatory guys need to get their shot. It's funny though, because you guys use that at your leisure, because when Robert Guerrero became the WBC interim champion, and Floyd, it was between Guerrero and Devin Alexander, when Devin was the IBF champion, you guys didn't want him to fight Devin. No, don't fight Devin. Don't fight Devin. Who's Devin proven? Oh, the only person he beat was Maidana. And y'all shit all over Maidana. Shit all over Devin's win of Maidana. Oh, he just beat Maidana. Maidana's nothing. So Floyd chooses to fight his mandatory in Guerrero. That's acceptable. You guys praised it. Now, WBA mandatory, Keith one-time Thurman, who's waiting for his opportunity. He waited for Paulie. Paulie didn't fight him. He waited for Broner. Broner didn't fight him. Maidana didn't fight him. So now will Floyd Mayweather be the next guy not to fight Keith Thurman and deny this man his chance? It's about what you deserve, man. He worked his way up. He deserves it. Who cares if I don't understand why you guys are so afraid of watching a good fight. You have too much invested in this shit, man. Too much. But it ain't gonna matter because the days of ducking, they're limited. The days of ducking is getting real small now. It's almost over. Okay. I don't care if Keith Thurman goes out and loses to somebody else. I hold my position that he will beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. right now. The style-wise, he would. Yes, he would get hit. I mean, what are you guys waiting on? Do you think that the guy to beat Floyd Mayweather has to be the perfect specimen of a fighter? He has to have the perfect defense, the perfect offense. No, you're never going to see that. The guy to beat Floyd Mayweather is going to be a guy who's confident enough to go in there and fight his fight and not let Mayweather dictate how he fights the fight. That's the guy who's going to beat Floyd. Okay? When was the last time, since Floyd Mayweather was fighting guys like Augustus and Chop Chop Corley, okay, he has purposely not fought those type of fighters. He has purposely avoided those type of guys. Why? What is it about Chop Chop Corley? Okay? What is it about Emmanuel Augustus, who on paper looked like they shouldn't even be in the ring with Floyd, but gave him very good fights? I'm not even going to get into why. I'll let y'all debate that. But it is what it is. Earl Spence, he was sparring with Floyd Mayweather and beat the shit out of Floyd Mayweather. Y'all don't want to accept that, but he did. People who were there, people who were there in the gym have told me this. Earl Spence beat the shit out of Floyd Mayweather, they said. Floyd got so pissed off that they was fighting ferociously hard. Floyd got his licks too, but this kid was not supposed to be able to do that to Floyd. Floyd was embarrassed. He kicked this dude out of his gym. Talked shit to him, bad-mouthed him, then felt bad, apologized, and brought him back into the gym. That's a fact because I heard it from 2 different sources who were in the gym at the time. Now, why was Errol Spence able to do this? Something in the DNA, brothers. Something in the DNA. Okay? Now, I'm telling you, y'all don't want to believe it. Y'all don't want to accept it. That's fine. But when Floyd Mayweather goes out there next week, if he is victorious against Marcos Maidana, okay, and he destroys Marcos Maidana the way I think he does, let's see what Floyd Mayweather does next. Because Keith Thurman will be his mandatory for the WBA. His other mandatory for his other belt is Luis Carlos Abreu, another guy who never gets an opportunity. Okay? Let's see what Floyd does next. I'm a fan of guys fighting in mandatories. I really am. Right? Some of you are not. Some of you just want to see this big name guy versus this big name guy. Because, you know, I understand that too. I like that sometimes too. Right? However, let's see what Floyd does next. If he does not fight his mandatories, then I expect him to fight the other champions, which would be Shawn Porter or Manny Pacquiao. See, now it's changing, right? Now it ain't no room. It ain't no room no more. Nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. Somebody got to get that work. So who is it going to be? Manny Pacquiao, Shawn Porter is the only 2 other champions. So if Floyd wants to unify belts, I can see him fighting a Pacquiao or a Porter. If Porter gets past Kell Brook. If he fights mandatories, it will be Abreu or Keith Thurman. Anything else is unacceptable in my opinion. Those are my thoughts. 78 Sports TV. Let me know what you think. I'll holler.